Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Jasmine, the Ahsoka fan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. New hair, who dis? You guys might notice that I look a little different today. I got my hair done yesterday actually. So yeah, we're rocking a new hairdo for the next little while. But anyways guys, welcome back to another video. It is time for episode 5 of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Last episode was another solid episode and we're definitely off to a great start so far this season. We saw more of Omega and Crosshair doing their thing. They're on the run from the Empire. And of course, by the end of the episode, probably the highlight of the episode, we saw the Bad Batch reunite. So we saw Omega reunite with Wrecker and Hunter. And then the episode ended off in a little bit of a cliffhanger. It seemed as though there's a little bit of tension between Crosshair and the other members of the Bad Batch. I don't know if they're going to be friendly towards one another or if there's a little bit of resentment from Crosshair's side. But either way, I hope that this episode picks up where the last one left off because I do want to see how that turns out with Crosshair reuniting with his brothers once again. But yeah guys, I don't want to speculate too much. Without further ado, let's blast our way into episode 5 now and check out what's in store for us. The return. Is that referring to the reunion or is someone else going to show up? Like is Echo or Rex coming back maybe? She's finally looking out the window of her home instead of her cell.
How'd you sleep?
Better than ever.
Delivery from Shepard. They're happy you're back.
Oh, yeah, that's the fruit that they used to eat, right? Her and Wrecker.
Where's Crosshair?
He wasn't in the ship when we woke up.
He didn't take off, did he? That'd be a short-lived reunion. Okay, so they're on Pabu. Shoot. His hand's still having problems, eh? I wonder if that's from what he endured while being imprisoned.
But you can't keep hiding. You need to talk to Hunter.
I'm not hiding. I'm training.
Aww.
I'm sure he could look at your hand for you.
I'm fine. Being a sniper is more than just looking through a scope. It's about patience and knowing when you've got eyes on you.
Oh, are Hunter and Wrecker looking at them? Yeah.
They don't trust me.
Not sure it was a good idea to give Crosshair back his rifle. Omega trusts him. Good enough for me.
She really is the glue in their relationship. What ship is that? Oh, so he is coming back this episode.
Its success rate today was at 53%, well below your average.
Glad to
Aww,
see you're back safe.
I love this.
Now hug for me.
Aw.
Depends how good your intel is.
I can't tell if he's just joking or if he's actually hurt by that Echo didn't hug him.
They were using clones for testing. Most were held in the detention wing, but I never saw what was in the vault. Even Emery wasn't allowed access. She's a clone.
Anything else to add?
Not much to tell.
We have Nalisay's data pad. If we can get it online, we should be able to pull more intel on Tantor.
I wonder if it only works while on the base.
Imperial encryption will be a problem, especially without tech.
Oh, man.
Plugging it into an Imperial terminal will bypass the encryption. I know a facility.
Crosshair, Echo, and I will go to this remote facility. Wrecker and Omega, you stay here. We just got you back. I am not going to risk you getting captured again.
But I left all those clones behind. You need to do this, Hunter.
They're stronger together, so I do kind of understand her not wanting to split up again. Awkward.
He's only worried about you.
You think I should stay behind too?
You are still a kid.
I'm older than you are, little brother.
That's so cute.
I don't know.
So true.
It's still, but
Is that his old armor?
My old armor.
Yeah.
it never felt right to get rid of it.
Didn't one of you in my comments say that? You wonder if he'd get back his old armor? Aw. So they're coming around.
There's no one here.
That's pretty remote, eh?
Hey, it does fit.
Oh, hey. Look at him. It's been a long time since he wore that. Oh, isn't that the bird that was in that episode from last season? Oh yes, that's how he knows the outpost. What am I thinking? This is where he's with the other clones and they were trying to retrieve this package and ended up being stormtrooper armor.
What is it?
It was from the episode from last season.
What are the sensors for?
Perimeter detection against local raiders. They were all dealt with.
And how do you know that?
Take a guess. If you're scared, why don't you wait on the
Oh,
ship?
come on, guys.
Hey, kill each other later.
Yeah, it might be a while before they're
Talk to him.
buddy-buddy again.
Argue with him.
He started it.
Omega having to be the older sister to her younger brothers and ensure they get along. I love how they're bringing everything back again, bringing back a prior episode. That's why every episode is important. You never know how it might come into play later. There's that one flashing light there.
The power to this outpost has been nearly depleted by the sensor beacon.
Then we need to divert all power to this depot. So why'd the Empire abandon this place?
I guess it served its purpose.
Sounds familiar.
The clones. What are they gonna find here, guys? Oh, clone helmets. I think those are from the clones that he worked with there. Yeah. Damn, imagine how that makes him feel. Oh, he's picking them all up. But see, if they divert power from the sensors to here, then if there are actual raiders, they won't be alerted, right? So couldn't that potentially be a problem? Yeah, something's happening right now. And Batcher senses it. He's got the toothpick again.
Are you going to be my shadow?
For some reason, that bird to him reminds me of Morai to Ahsoka.
What did you do to finally get on the Empire's bad side? Betray them like you did with us?
Is there something about him that we don't know yet?
Things wrong.
Tell me what changed. What happened, Crosshair?
I'm wondering now. What exactly
I
happened?
killed an Imperial officer.
Okay, we did know that.
I risked everything to send you that message. You let Omega be taken to Tantus.
Whoa.
You failed. Because she escaped with my help, not yours.
Ooh, fighting words.
Move!
Oh man. I just knew something like this was gonna happen. Well, I guess they're gonna be stuck there for a while. They better get comfortable.
I guess we know what the perimeter sensors are meant to keep out.
Exactly.
One of us needs to get over there and reset the grid manually.
We'll have to draw the creature beyond the sensors before they reboot.
I'll handle it.
We'll do it together.
You sure about that?
Alright. Batcher is really coming in handy. Man, I hope their ship's okay.
3 o'clock!
It's kinda close. Oh no.
Hunter!
Shoot.
Why is there always a huge monster?
That is true, actually. There always is a huge monster.
Can you get outside the perimeter from down there? I'll follow the tunnel north. We'll track you from up here.
It's right on your tail.
About 100 meters and closing. Got it.
Damn.
I think I just made it angrier.
Oh man.
Prime the breaker.
Okay.
No sign of that thing.
Is Hunter gonna run into it there? Underground?
Found a weak point in the ice. We'll try to dig through.
You'll try.
Glad you heard me properly.
They are kind of funny when they have this sarcastic exchange, back and forth exchange.
What next, kid?
Cycle the navigator. They should be to the right of the main breaker.
Am I gonna have a way out or not?
If you end up where we hope you do.
No pressure.
Hunter, should I activate the beacon?
Man. Go, Hunter, go.
Get out here. Not yet. Where's the woman?
Where to go? Better hurry, Hunter, before you get trapped on there.
Omega, activate the sensors.
Bringing them on.
Go, go, go. Hurry up, man. Oh, man. Cut it so close. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they realize they need each other. So stop fighting and make up already. Oh.
They always work it out. And I don't even see any blood this time. That's progress.
Everyone needs a Wrecker bear hug.
We still don't know the coordinates of Tantus, but between the datapad and all you and Crosshair have told me, we're closer to finding and freeing those clones.
I wish I could have done more to help them.
You did exactly what you're supposed to do. Got out of there.
Exactly. She really could not have done more without putting herself and Crosshair in danger again. But at least now they're in a position where they can try and go back and free their others. Are these two gonna talk now or what?
I thought I knew what I was getting into with the Empire. I thought I was being a good soldier. I've done things.
I have regrets too, Crosshair. All we can do is keep trying to be better. There just might be hope for us yet.
There's that bird again. They're so lucky that their ship is still intact after all that. All right. Quite a bit to break down there. Okay guys, so quite a bit to break down from that episode. There was obviously a lot of references to the Outpost episode from last season, which we're going to dive into shortly. But first, I did want to talk about the tension, mainly between Crosshair and Hunter. You definitely see Crosshair doesn't come around so quickly, and neither does Hunter. And as Crosshair points out, there does appear to be a little bit of distrust between the two of them, perhaps maybe even more from Hunter's side. I think Hunter was definitely questioning Crosshair's loyalty to the group, and that's why he didn't warm up to him right away. And there were some fighting words that were said as well. Crosshair told Hunter that he had killed an Imperial officer, which we're going to talk more about in a second. That happened in the Outpost episode, and how he risked everything to send them a message that warned them the Empire was up to something, and in particular that Omega might be in danger. He then pointed out how Omega escaped with his help and not Hunter's help. And so I definitely think those words stung a little bit. I wonder if that moment made Hunter question his own leadership in a way, because it's no secret they all care for Omega. They really want to protect her in particular. And so the fact that Hunter in a way could be to blame for what happened to Omega, it does make you wonder, does he blame himself? Does he question his ability to lead? And is that perhaps why he's hesitant to include Omega on certain missions now? Because even in this episode, he wanted her to stay behind initially because he didn't want her to risk getting captured again. So it's possible he does blame himself a little bit. That's why Crosshair's words stung there. We do see Crosshair come around by the end there. First of all, he got back his old armor, which was epic. That was definitely symbolic of him finally returning, not exactly to the old Crosshair, but to some new version of Crosshair, but nonetheless returning to the Bad Batch, the crew that he was once part of. That armor really did solidify that. And by the end of the episode, you did see Hunter and Crosshair come together there. Crosshair talked about how he didn't know what he was getting into and he thought he was being a good soldier. We've heard the line repeated several times, good soldiers follow orders, so he thought he was being a good soldier. Hunter talks about how he's had regrets as well, so it was nice to see them come to that common understanding. I think the reunion by the end of the episode was really solidified when you saw Wrecker give the both of them a hug, so that was really nice to see. It makes you think of the episode title, which is called The Return. It can mean many things. It could refer to the return of Echo, because we saw Echo again this episode, the final return of Crosshair to the Bad Batch, or it could refer to them returning to the Outpost location that we saw Crosshair visit in season 2. And before we get into that, the one question I do have is what is going on with Crosshair's hand? Because we've seen for a couple episodes now, he does have some trembling and it's affecting his ability to shoot. it could be what he endured while being imprisoned. Maybe they were doing things to him that caused him to lose some sort of ability, some sort of function in his hand. Or it could be because of what he endured on the outpost, because he was in the freezing cold for quite some time when he was trying to rescue Mayday. Either way, they do seem to place focus on that, so I wonder if that will come into play later on at some point. All right, so now let's dive into The Outpost, which was the episode from season 2, last season. I'm not gonna lie, I actually did skim through the episode again just to refresh my memory. If you'll recall, in The Outpost, the Empire sent reinforcements, which included Crosshair, to this remote outpost in which there were clones that were basically abandoned. The names of the clones were Mayday, Veach, and Hex. And they were tasked with guarding that outpost with their lives, including guarding cargo. Throughout the episode, we see Crosshair interact with these clones. They even exchange names. So you can tell that he does feel a bond with them and he does see them as his brothers. They end up confronting raiders, and when they do, they find out that the cargo they were tasked with protecting ended up being stormtrooper gear. And so obviously seeing that was a huge slap in the face, because not only are they risking their lives for some cargo, but they're risking their lives to protect armor that's going to their replacement. And Mayday spoke about this. He couldn't believe the Empire could do that after everything the clones had done and everything they'd sacrificed. And he said that they were being good soldiers, they were following orders, which is exactly what Crosshair says to Hunter at the end of the episode. He thought he was being a good soldier. In a way, in the Outpost episode, you could argue that Mayday acts as Crosshair's conscience. What Mayday says in the episode, you can kind of infer that Crosshair is thinking deep down himself. And you know, in that moment when he saw what the cargo really was, he was questioning his true purpose to the Empire. An avalanche happens. Crosshair and Mayday get caught in this avalanche. Crosshair refuses to leave Mayday behind. He helps him back to the base, but then unfortunately Mayday ends up passing away. And then this is the scene where the lieutenant doesn't care at all. He even tells Crosshair that they're both expendable, and that's when Crosshair ends up killing him. And that was a really big moment in that episode. That marked Crosshair's transition away from the Empire. And how fitting is this, that the one episode from last season that marked Crosshair's transition away from the Empire, which was The Outpost, is the one episode we see referenced in today's episode, the day after the Bad Batch have their reunion with Crosshair. It's definitely fitting, and you just know that throughout today's episode, Crosshair must have been reflecting to himself that when he was first on this outpost, it was under orders of the Empire, but he was with his brothers. And now in today's episode, he's with his brothers again, but not under orders of the Empire. He's in fact on the run from the Empire. You know that the events of the outpost really did change him, seeing how his brothers were abandoned and seeing how he was considered disposable as well. And I think that Mayday dying was that last bit of Crosshair dying as well, the part that was loyal to the Empire. And that's why we see him just completely snap and kill the lieutenant. In the outpost as well, you saw Mayday line up the helmets of his fallen comrades. And then in this episode, you see Crosshair do the same thing when he finds the helmets. I thought that was kind of a nice touch and just shows that Crosshair does care about his brothers deep down, despite everything that's happened. If you think about it too, it's fitting that that clone's name was Mayday, because Mayday is obviously a call for help. It's what airline crew will say when there's an imminent crash or problem. And during that episode, the clones definitely were in dire need of help. They had been ignored by the Empire and abandoned and were being picked off one by one. The ice vulture is a really important symbol that I noticed back in the Outpost as well as during today's episode. It definitely reminds me a little bit of Ahsoka and Morai. In the Outpost episode, one of the things Mayday talks about is how the ice vultures, you have to admire them. They're vicious creatures, but at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is survive. Are they often misunderstood? And in fact, just creatures that are doing whatever it takes to survive, just like Crosshair. Crosshair has done whatever he thinks is necessary to survive. At first, that was being a good soldier, following orders, and that led to him doing a lot of things which he now regrets, as he talked to Hunter about. And then now he's changed course again, and he's joined back with his brothers, and he's again doing whatever it takes to survive. So I think you can definitely draw a parallel there. Every time you see Crosshair go through some sort of transition, you see this ice vulture. So that was all very good. I loved how they referenced the Outpost in this episode. It's just one of the things that this series is really great at doing, which is bringing back prior episodes and characters. It just goes to show that every episode of the series is in fact important. And I love seeing the Bad Batch work together again. You could see that look that Hunter and Crosshair gave each other towards the end, and that was a look of, this is why we're good together. We need each other despite everything that we've been through, and this is where we belong belong together. And you can argue that Omega really did help to make that happen. On a side note, that was cute how Omega referred to Crosshair as her little brother, and it is a reminder that Omega is technically older than them. Lastly, we see Pabu revisited again this episode, and Pabu, you could argue, is a planet that is very peaceful. It's a planet that the war has not yet reached, and it is an outlook, if you will, into what life could be without the war, or more importantly, without the Empire. And it's because of those very reasons that as a viewer, you feel a little bit of unease because you wonder just how long this will last for. And there's always that question of whether or not the Empire will show up and destroy this planet. We did see this planet deal with an earthquake last season, but was that just symbolic of what's potentially to come? The looming threat of the Empire, which will no doubt cause a very different type of destruction to Pabu. Last time they were on Pabu, they also were with Tech, and Tech was actually referenced in this episode, so I do like that they continue to mention him because it just is a reminder of what a profound loss it is for the group, and a reminder that none of them are safe and out of the woods just yet. But overall, guys, great episode. You let me know down below in the comments, as always, what you thought, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you next week for the 6th episode of season 3 of The Bad Batch. Until next time, guys, take care. See you soon.